Hello folks, and welcome to my kitchen, where I'm sure most of you work on your bikes. This is my latest bicycling obsession. This is my 1981 Miyata Commuter that I just picked up from my local Facebook marketplace. You could see here that it is not in the world's greatest cosmetic shape. I really like this saddle though, so I'm going to do my best to fix it. In fact, I'm going to save that for another project, another video. Just wanted to show you here, scraped off a lot of surface rust, but you know, plenty of scratches, dents in the aluminum chain guard or fenders. That light actually still works, believe it or not. And when I open it up, there's a spare light bulb in there, so it's still on the first bulb. Chromo tubes, 3-speed, Japanese 3-speeds. I don't get it. There is like no content about Japanese 3-speeds on YouTube. What the heck, folks? That's why I'm making this video. Anyway, now for the reason I'm making this video. It's not just to share about this bike, though I could talk about it forever. I decided that I'm going to change the grips on here. And I thought that a set of Cork grips would look nice. I went on Amazon, didn't really see any that I liked. There aren't too many available, so I decided I'm gonna make my own. Tried Googling DIY Cork grips for a bicycle. Can't find anything. All I found was stuff for fishing rods, so went to my local craft store. I'm just kind of winging it. They had some other stuff there that was about 3 millimeters thick, and that was just too thick. This stuff is 2 point something millimeters. I think it will work a lot better. Just speeding through this part here, it's pretty self-explanatory. The grips are about 4 inches long, which by the way seems to be a lot shorter than modern grips that you could buy. It came off really easy here. I was surprised. There was only a little bit of scoring there, so I don't know if, you know, that was necessary to maybe glue them on or whatever. The grips sure didn't feel glued on, but they were on pretty well, I guess. I decided that what I was going to do was to simply tape on the first layer, and I made sure that none of the cork overlapped, so it met perfectly, so that there were no bumps or anything. And I hope I don't regret this, because I wound up finishing the entire project. It looks really good. Now, of course, I'm terrified that this isn't going to be sturdy enough. I suppose if it's not, I could always just try to put some sort of adhesive between the grip and the bar, but I just didn't want to use glue or anything else that would cause me headaches later down the road. Again, I know that this bike is, you know, not in the world's greatest shape, but even just doing this, I just don't feel right about it. This bike is so unique that I'm afraid to change anything about it. But I'm doing the grip thing here because the other ones really just aren't comfortable, and I want to ride this bike, so it's kind of necessary. Alright, so this is the glue that I used. Gorilla Glue Gel, and it sets up in, it says 10 seconds. The instructions actually tell you that it's like between 10 seconds and 45 seconds. And I was skeptical, but as you'll see in a second here, it actually works very well. So what I'm doing now is placing you know, the recommended amount of glue, which doesn't look like much, and I'm repeating what I did. The first layer, I had the two ends meet so that there was no bump. I had the seam meet at the top, and here I'm having the seam meet at the bottom. And it was met perfectly flush. It just came out perfectly. Okay, so here I am now making up the bar ends, which I did by buying some of these large corks at my hardware store. I really wanted to use like champagne corks, but I didn't have any, and I didn't feel like spending, you know, 20 bucks just to get the corks out of some cheap champagne bottles. So just adding some glue, I cut up the cork and, you know, used one end for like a cap, the other end for the plug. So the first time that I tried to do this, the cork was so brittle that it just fell apart on me. So I Googled how to cut cork or whatever, looking for tips, and the advice that I found was that you needed to soak the cork, which if you've ever seen that old SNL skit, or was it Johnny Dangerously talking about cork soakers, maybe you'll get why I'm laughing here. Alright, so anyway, just finishing up here, giving the glue the 10 seconds it needs to set up. Alright, so here it is, the finished product. Nothing fancy, but it's what I was going for. And it wound up working great. I did wind up having to go back later and use some glue between the stopper and the grip, and now it's completely flush. Again, it feels durable, it looks nice. I'll have to update you folks later. I'm also planning on finishing them somehow. I don't know if I'm going to use polyurethane or what. Maybe I'll post in the comments what that came out like. But look at this. I couldn't be happier. And it wasn't expensive, and it wasn't too difficult. So there you go. Hope this helps people looking to do the same thing.